Gianni Russo, welcome to the show. Mad Max Radio, Live 365, iHeartRadio. We have the one and only, the legendary Gianni Russo, Carlo Rizzi, the Godfather. We know him for many things, lots of films, Oscar-winning films. He served as a producer for Seabiscuit, Any Given Sunday, Super Mario Brothers, Rush Hour 2. He's done it all. Hollywood Godfather, My Life in the Movies and the Mob. His newest book, Mafia Secrets. Welcome to the show, Gianni. How's it going?
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. How's everything going? How's the feedback been with the new book? You told me it's been going viral, and I've been seeing it all over the internet.
Well, you know what's so wild about it? Today or yesterday, James Patterson released a new book called The Final Days of Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
And he's talking about being at Cal Neva the last weekend of July 62. Now, I was there with Sinatra, with Marilyn, Sam Giancana. I didn't see James Patterson up there, but now he's got a new book. He's talking about the whole thing, and he's nowhere in sight. But I was laughing about it today because I did a radio junket for like 24 stations, and I brought it up. I mean, it's a nice company to be in. James Patterson now writing about the same book at the same time.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
It
but
really is.
but I've always been blessed with these kind of strange things happening during the time.
Oh yeah, from the early beginnings, just me learning about your whole life story because I wanted to talk about your film work and just me because I went and read your book Hollywood Godfather and just
Oh,
learned
you read
about you.
the first
Yeah,
book?
I went and read that book. It was an amazing read. Even Robert De Niro coined it for you. You walk the walk and talk the talk. It's a worthy read.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with all in in 10 days I'll be 83 years old.
Happy early birthday.
I've been shot, stabbed, run over, kidnapped. You name it, it's happened to me.
So, is there any special celebrations for Johnny Russo Day for December 12th in Vegas still?
No, I don't even go near there. In fact, I'm celebrating this year with a very close friend of mine for many, many years, Engelbert Humperdinck. He happens to be at the Premier Theater out here. So I'm going to go there and watch the show with him and my lady, and just I, I have collectively now with children, great grandchildren, and children. I got 33 kids, so
Oh.
and I got 10 mothers to them, so that's 43. Where am I going? I don't even like them.
I did learn that lots of kids, 13 kids of your own, big family man. I love it. Just learn about your whole story and just starting out from the beginning with it being in Little Italy and in Staten Island and the polio story, which is
The
really
po-
touching.
the polio was really a great lesson to me. And fortunately, I survived it because I was in a 20-bed ward. I went to that ward August 7th, 1949, and it was in Bellevue, which was a mental institution, but they quarantined 2 floors just because the polio was so contagious at that time.
Mhm.
And I was in a ward of 20 beds. I watched 2,200 kids die there over 6 years. And when I hit the ground walking out of there, do you know how I got out of there?
Oh, because you killed the pedophile.
I killed a pedophile at 12. I went back to the neighborhood. I was like a war hero.
It's insane. Do you still have nightmares of the gurney wheel that you used to hear at night?
No, no more.
No more. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, I've been working on that, subconscious mind and all that, but no, all that's done. Thank God.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, you did the Lord's work as you told the Pope John Paul II that
Oh, oh yeah. I mean,
with
that was
taking out that guy.
in fact, I'm talking about that. He gave me this. Now that we're on, look at this.
Oh, wow.
He gave me this cross in 1984. There's a
That's
picture of him
amazing.
in Mafia Secrets
Hmm.
with him and I.
And you could see the picture in your book too, Hollywood Godfather, you and him.
Yeah. No, I've known 3 popes, and unfortunately, John Paul I, he had hot tea, and and that was the end of him after 31 days. But it's when I start to reflect on like we're doing now, it's amazing what I've gone through and lived through,
Hmm.
and part of America's history, the world history, actually.
You're involved with it, just being around everything. It's so many events and learning about with the JFK assassination, being a messenger for Frank Costello, and then selling the ballpoint pens and the flour. So you were a businessman really early on, just because you were out there selling stuff, and you were working your body back up with doing the flour when you came back out of Bellevue.
Magnati's Bakery. Well,
Hmm.
again, I didn't know that, but I needed a place to sleep. And another thing that I was totally unbeknownst to me, the coal fires. There was no humidity in the air. I'm 83. I have my friends got rheumatism. They got this, but I think all of that early on in life, even when I slept in the storeroom, there were flour bags. There was no humidity in there. So I've been as I said, I suffered everything the first 12 years of my life. I'll take that any day. The last 71 years have been amazing.
I think that's because when I was reading your book, I said you had a rough life early on, and I think because you went through so many trials and tribulations that you were blessed afterwards with so many incredible things.
Yeah, I believe that. I really do. I'm very religious even now. In most of my houses, there's altars with artifacts that I've collected through the years. And in this house here, I walked into here on 61st Street. This is Frank Costello's apartment.
Mhm.
If you look behind me, the dining room sits 16 without moving a chair. People come up here and they say, "How'd you get this apartment?"
The stories that you have here, and I think where the businessman really settled in here is that you wanted to know when certain people would be coming once they got their paycheck, so you could get the money for these ballpoint pens too.
No, I went to the bank. I mean, again, I don't know who was guiding me, and I don't want to sound corny, but I believe in God. But what's gone on in my life, I mean, it's insane. Hundreds of millions of dollars have passed through my hands. I'm operating in 83 countries right now.
Lots of passports and carry permits.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Insane. This whole story, Marilyn Monroe. I went through that whole story. You
Oh, that
being with
was
her.
that was terrible. I mean, that's why I'm even laughing with this James Patterson. I mean, he's a great writer, but he wasn't at Cal Neva, and I was there for the whole 5 days with her. And then she went bananas. Nobody knew it because Sinatra was trying to convince her to sleep with Bobby Kennedy because Joe Kennedy approached Costello to get John to be president. And I traveled 6 states every other week, just bringing envelopes and making sure the unions are voting, and he won. But most people don't realize the deal they made. They said once John gets in, the first thing he would do is invade Cuba and get them back their casinos. I knew the mob had to have something big in this.
Hmm.
And 2 years went by and they did nothing. Bobby told John, there's no missiles there. We're not invading Cuba. And what they don't know, and this is a news bulletin for your audience, why the Warren report will never come out. They Bobby Kennedy single-handedly canceled the airstrike. We lost 2,900 kids in a matter of 4 hours. They were on the island. They annihilated them.
Wow.
No, I mean that's why when I reflect and see governments and politics, they're worse than criminals.
They are. They really are.
It's crazy. They pick up the phone and say, "That's it. See you later."
It really is insane just how much stuff that goes on, and they people and they come up. That's where all these conspiracies come from too, because people are trying to come up with theories and
Well, that's that whole, the Democrats and the Republicans and all. They're supposed to, create the balance. But now I've never seen this country in such disarray.
No, everyone's at each other's throats constantly.
Now it's crazy. It's a survival type thing now.
Oh yeah.
It's
And technology plays a big hand into it with social media too.
my God, yeah. I mean, what I did early on, like you were just talking about, I could never do today. Everybody has a camera. Everybody, you're being photographed even if you don't want to be.
It's right. Well, back in the day, you were able to utilize cameras around you for getting your own screen tests and things like that for The Godfather because you did your own roles.
But that I rented and did
You
that.
rented them.
Now everybody has, a camera in their phone.
Hmm.
You walk down the street, there's 15 people taking pictures of you.
It's an invasion of privacy. Could you imagine if there were cameras? I mean, you have the photos of all the events that you talk about with your life story, which is why people, I see all the comments. There's lots of haters, and these people that are hating, they didn't accomplish anything in their lives. That's why they hate, and I see that. And you have photos, but just imagine if there were phone cameras during your time with
Well,
everything that went through.
it's so funny you're saying that because when I started talking about Marilyn Monroe, she was very close to me because, we were both two people that needed a hug.
Hmm.
And what was so, in comparison to both of us, she was 12 and she was put into an orphanage in Burbank. And when she was in the orphanage, she saw the Warner Brothers water tower. And that's when she started reading magazines to become a movie star. I, on the other hand, was in Bellevue when I was 12. So when we got together, finally, it wasn't about sex or anything. She was like 17 years older than me. I mean, I'll tell you a statistic I can't believe. On June 1st, 2026, that's Marilyn's 100th birthday. Is that wild?
That's wild.
To think that she would be 100? And I'm going to get something done. I promised her and Dorothy Kilgallen, believe it or not.
Hmm.
I want both their death certificates changed because they had them both by suicide. So I'm getting them changed from suicide to homicide because they didn't kill themselves. I know the guy that killed both of them,
Hmm.
and Bobby Kennedy was behind that.
And I saw the thing on your website with the raising awareness about that, especially with the barcode too.
Yeah, yeah. No, so I'm getting that done, and I just I just want to give back to her. We were so close; I could choke up talking about it. Such a vulnerable little girl. Everybody took advantage of her. I mean, I did a movie with Tony Curtis called Lepke.
Hmm.
We started talking about Marilyn. He was with her. Sinatra was with her. Marlon Brando was with her. She had such a low esteem of herself that she felt all she could give is her body, and she did. Now, who wouldn't want to take her body? I even took it. And we were rolling around in a bed, and then all of a sudden it happened, and hello. But I didn't do it in a malicious way.
Hmm.
We were just looking for a hug.
You were a shampoo boy.
Oh yeah,
It all started out with getting that ticket because you weren't in school.
that's
And
you got a great memory. That's exactly how I met her. And if I didn't get that truant officer to give me the ticket, I had to go to a continuation school. And Costello put me in Wilford Academy. And I said, I don't want to, I'm no Fanoka. I don't going to become a hairdresser. He said, just go there, just check in the morning and leave. Well, I'd walk in there and, I'm supposed to leave. I look over the lady's shoulder. There's 30 little girls there. Where are you going to find 30 little teenage girls at 9 o'clock in New York City? So I used to hang there for an hour or two. And again, thank God I did, because Mark Sinclair and Kenneth were working for Lily Daché, and Kenneth was already Marilyn and Jackie Kennedy's hairdresser already. So I got to do that, and that's started it all.
legendary. It's just legendary stories when you look at the whole thing and just it's insane that it's the 100th birthday and then you have one coming up here with
In 10
your
days,
birthday. Yeah.
December 12th. When I found that out, I couldn't believe it because I got a transistor radio.
And heard Sinatra.
Yeah. That's how I found I was born on that day because I turned on the radio December 12th and everybody was talking about Sinatra, this guy from Hoboken, from humble beginnings. His mother was a barmaid, and he encouraged me to get out of that ward. I figured if he could do it, I'll do it. And I did.
You did. And that's the thing that I love how you end your book with is yes, you can. Because that's so inspiring just to see the humble beginnings that you came from with suffering with polio and all the things you went through early on to where yes, you can. You could do anything you put your mind to, even when
That's
everything
that's
is
a
against you.
charity. That's a 501c corporation out of Florida, and I raise money constantly for that, and I'm educating underprivileged children with that. Yes, you can, because that but I really believe it. That's what
Mhm.
I could do it. Anybody can. I'm an illiterate, and I got two best-selling books. Hello.
The money laundering because then you started working with the Vatican, things like that. So when did that really start? And was that always a thing between the mob and the Vatican? When did that really come into
Why?
development?
What happened to me? I was always good friends with Chicago. When I started moving around at 16, 17 to get John F. Kennedy elected, I got to meet all these guys. So I was going to Detroit, Chicago. I met all these mob guys.
Frank Nitti.
Frank Nitti. Well, his son Nick and I became partners. You should say that. Then Nick and I were the ones who took the money out of Vegas. Over 5 years, took out $600 million. But again, I did something. Don't ask me how or why. I became a courier for the Lloyds of London. I was a bonded courier. And guess who my employee was?
Who?
The Vatican. So when they would stop me at the airport, I'd show them the letter. I said, go see my employer. I don't know. I can't give you this money. I had them crazy because they couldn't go to Vatican City and serve a subpoena. Who are they going to give it to?
Yeah, it's so it's always kind of been like that with the mob and
Oh, yeah.
Vatican.
My family, and I'm proud of it. I just went over to Sicily. In fact, I went over to talk to my uncle who's 95 now. But the
God bless him.
Russo family in La Cosa Nostra is about 400 years of history. They've always been involved. And I lost, in fact, when Costello asked me once about my uncle when we first met, I said I never met him. He said, "Why is that?" I said, "Well, if you know so much, you tell me." And he got, stern with me. And he said, "I asked you a question." I said, "Because they hung my uncle and a couple of other family members in 1949, and they let them hang in the street to send a message they're cleaning up La Cosa Nostra." Well, we know that didn't work.
No. Angelo and Frank Costello asked you about your uncle when you had an encounter when you're selling the pens.
Oh yeah, no. And then what was interesting because unbeknownst to me, he knew I was from downtown, so he went to see Carlo Gambino. And he said, "Do you know this kid?" And he said, "My name." And he said, "Do I know him?" He said, "That kid's, I got more respect for that kid than most of the guys on the street down here who are made guys." It was that kind of a thing. And, and Costello didn't know I killed a pedophile at 12. Gave me a whole different thing. But that's why I laugh even now, and like we are now. Here, I'm in this apartment 71 years.
Hmm.
I walked in here when I was 12. It was a cold night. I was at the Copa. He thought I was going back downtown. I was, but I used to sleep in St. Patrick's Cathedral. It was open 24 hours a day. And then I started going to the Paramount Theater on 42nd Street because that was open 24 hours a day. And that's what first introduced me to Marilyn Monroe. I saw Some Like It Hot while I was masturbating in the balcony at 16.
And then you actually get to meet her and get together.
Well, the fourth head of hair I was shampooing at Lily Daché.
Hmm.
I'm looking at it, was Marilyn Monroe. So now we know, and your audience knows the configuration of a shampoo basin. So I'm shampooing her hair, and she wanted a strong shampoo. And I had to test the water and put it on her wrist to approve the temperature. but we all know the configuration of a shampoo basin. And this wasn't lined up shampoo basins like you see in salons. These were private rooms. These ladies change. They had cashmere sweaters on, fur coats. So now I got my three-piece set on her shoulder, and I'm massaging her, and I start getting an erection. Then she started requesting me. But you know what's interesting? She gave me a $5 check
Mm.
as a tip, left it for me at the desk. Don't ask me why I didn't need any money. Every time I saw Costello, every time he shook my hand, he had $100 bill in it. I never got less than 200 or 300 a day from that guy. And that's in the 50s. So I kept all those checks. You know what they're worth today?
They're worth a lot.
Doesn't stop. That's why I'm so happy all the time.
It's a blessed life. It really is. Getting all the way into the movies with The Godfather, just an iconic role. Carlo Rizzi, everyone knows that. The ending scene, you got to answer for.
And
It's
even that worked out for me. And people, like somebody, an interviewer today said to me, "What did you think of the offer?" I said it was terrible how they treated me. I said, but I got it. I won again. They said, "What are you talking about?" Barry Schlotnick was my lawyer for that when I got that part. His son Stu Slotnick is my lawyer now. When they put that offer on, my grandkids were telling me, "Poppy, what did you do that way?" I said, where are you seeing this?" They were watching the offer. I said, "Stu, watch the offer for me, all right?" He called me up. He was elated. He said, "We got to sue them." I said, "Go." He got me over $300,000 after taxes in a movie I made 52 years ago.
and it's so insane because when you look at your character in the film, you're the opposite because you stopped a woman from being assaulted and
Right.
getting beat up and slashed with the bottle in your
Oh, yeah.
club. And in
Oh,
the
no.
movie, you're the
I was,
abuser.
that was the hardest thing for me. That's a great part of my life you just brought up, because now Talia Shire was Francis Ford Coppola's sister.
Mhm.
She played my wife in that movie, and then every day he had his mother and father there. So now we're doing the beating scene in the apartment, and he came to me. He says, "It's not working." I said, "Well, how's it going to work?" I said, "You're her brother. The mother and father is watching me beat her up." I said, "You got to get this, the stunt guys in, put pads on her. They put a cardigan sweater on her finally, so I could whip her." And that's all I was doing was whipping her, because unbeknownst to them, my father used to beat my mother every night just for fun of it. So these were scenes that I had to draw from and do. So I mean, my real life, the coincidence in my life helped me achieve even that, even though they were negative at the time.
It's wild just to see the life story and the comparisons and the parallels and just with that film. Is it true that there was a woman fan that beat you with her purse because she saw you?
See, a lady in Chicago, you really did your homework. I love you. That's great.
Oh, thank you.
No, but a lady in Chicago come running over to me. I thought she wanted an autograph. As soon as she got like a foot next to me, she started beating me with her purse. And the cops came over right away. And I said, "What's the matter with you?" And she was crying hysterical, and she's calling me Carlo. I said, "Wait a minute, that's a character." Unbeknownst to me, she cried hysterically. Her husband beat her up, and she had a miscarriage and lost her only child. So when she saw me, I was so believable in it that this lady goes, cracked me with a pocketbook, hitting me on the head. I couldn't believe it. Ex girlfriend or something. I don't know who else she was.
Was there any, because I know there were issues with you and James Caan and then him really hitting you with the bat on set and that scene you breaking the two ribs. Was there any reconciliation at all towards the
I
end
would
before he
never even
passed?
accept it. I would never. He went to a couple of people because, well, one night he almost got me killed.
I learned about that. That's
And the
unforgivable.
good news, I was with Tommy Bellotti and Boozy DeChico. We were in Gillies on 52nd Street. And he came out and he was with Junior Persico, who just took over the Colombo family because, you know, Joe got shot 5 times during a coma. So he comes out and he says, "Oh, I'm sitting back here with Junior. He's back there with his daughter. Why don't you come and say hello?" I knew Junior long before this kid did. So I go back there, we hug, we kiss. And I said, "Junior, your daughter's gorgeous." Now, if Junior has something on his mind, you'll read it on his face in 2 seconds. His face contorted. It was his girlfriend. Jimmy set me up. Well, he learned a lesson that night you couldn't believe. Never let him live it down either.
It's and I bet you love the toll booth scene, just knowing that you were the one that set him up because of the whole history that you guys had.
I had an idea and they wouldn't let me do it. I said, I want to be there. I want to be one of the shooters. What are you talking about? I said, for what the guy did to me, I want to be there. I set him up for the Barzinis. It's part of the storyline. He said, "You're getting too crazy," because I wanted to go over and kick him in the head. Then he put a guy in it. If you see that scene the next time you watch it, a guy comes over to once he's on the ground, shot up, and kicks him in the head.
Kicks him in
I
the head.
want to do it. He got an actor to do it.
That was the ultimate disrespect at the end because they already shot him up 1,000 times and it breaks his
Oh,
neck.
yeah. I actually wanted to spit on him and kick him in the head.
Well, on a lighter side, I will say this, and I did read your heartfelt tribute to Diane Keaton because we just lost her recently.
God,
My
yeah.
condolence, and I know that she really meant a lot to you and the whole family, the Godfather family.
She was out of all the actresses and actors on that set. We started with my wedding scene. Fortunately, there was like 300 or 400 people. But you know, the only big actor that was on that set that day was Marlon Brando and Richard Conte. They were the only. Pacino just started out. Everybody was just starting out. But she was so good to me, and we remained friends until she died. I was happy they asked me to eulogize her because she was really a good friend right to the end.
My condolences, Kate. She brought that character to life. It
Oh,
meant a lot, even with the second Godfather, because that's your favorite, and then you're in the flashback scene in that one.
yeah. You know, I made more money for that one day than I did the whole of the movie for 3 months.
What do you think? Because there's a lot of Godfather fans that think Godfather Part Two is better than the first one. Why do you think so many fans say that?
Well, I like it too. You know why? Because it showed him as a kid.
Hmm.
Bobby did, De Niro did a great job with that.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think it shows the beginning of it, and people are interested in that. You know, it's I'm working on a screenplay now that now, fortunately, a good friend of mine got in touch with me. I got in touch with him to congratulate him. He just sold a script called the Gambino script that Nicolas Cage is playing Carlo Gambino, and John Woo is directing. So I called him up and I told him, I said, you know, congratulations on the script. He's, when are we going to make your movie? I said, when do you want to make it? I just sent him my book. No, so I mean, this may be happening now. So go. My life is, I have no regrets, none. And I,
You shouldn't.
no, I don't. I don't.
No. And especially with you getting involved as a producer, because you had to eventually get your agent, and that was a process. So how did you really get work your way into being a producer on films and with all these Oscar-winning
I,
films,
I
especially with
wrote, I wrote checks.
you wrote.
One
That'll
thing
do it.
I got a lot of fajules. I got a lot of money.
Any given Sunday, a wonderful film. There was a news
That
clip,
was a big movie for us.
a huge film, and I was learning about that recently because I know there's been the whole story with P. Diddy with his case and everything. That is it true that he originally wanted to be a part of this film and Al Pacino didn't want to work with him? He wanted to work with Jamie Foxx instead.
P. Diddy is so full of shit. Forget about P. Diddy. I mean, look, first of all, I don't even, he's not even a human being to me. He's an animal. And how about all these other guys that gave their kids to him? I don't want to get into names. But these people all should die a terrible death. Forget about it. You get kids involved, they screwed up more. I mean, let's not go. That's negativity. I hate negativity. No, but that's a lie.
That's a lie. Yeah, that never happened.
I met Pacino and Oliver Stone. I remember it well on a Wednesday night in Dead Hannah's. I sat down to them. They said, "We want to make a football movie, and we know you're involved with football." Well, my brother-in-law was Pat Bowlen. He owned the Denver Broncos,
Mm.
and they just won the Super Bowl that year. So the next day, that's how excited they were. And I got Pat on the phone that night. I said, "Somebody wants to talk to you." He said, "Well, tell him to call me in the morning." I said, "Well, it's Al Pacino." He's what? I said, "I got Al Pacino wants to say hello to you." And the next day we were down in Denver, Mile High, and put the film together. That was a good movie, and it
Mhm.
hit.
The freshman too that you gave Marlon, that was Marlon Brando's biggest check
Oh
in
my God,
acting.
I got him $15 million from Warner Brothers. No,
Big check.
and then Marlon, I got to know Marlon, but talk about a weird guy, man. You know, sometimes you go to his house, he's dressed as a woman. But he was Marlon Brando. I ain't gonna say that. Do whatever you want. Between him, Michael Jackson, and Elizabeth Taylor, you never knew what was going on in that house.
I will say this because you've had a lot of characters come through your club. There were people doing commercials for you, like Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis. Oh, you had a lot of legends there. But how did was it getting to know Eddie Murphy? Because he used to come perform at your club.
Oh, Eddie Murphy, I loved Eddie Murphy early
Mhm.
on. No, and he was very grateful even for getting Any Given Sunday. That was a big movie for him.
Hmm.
No, no, we had a lot of good guys. LL Cool J. They were all in these movies. It was, you know, I'm blessed. I'm really blessed. It's I'm reflecting on a couple of projects I'm about to do. It's insane. It's insane.
The Family Man, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, hello. That was a great movie.
Hmm.
And that was Brett Ratner's, one of Brett Ratner's better movies. And I remember that. He took me, we first day on the set, he said, "I want to introduce you to Nicolas Cage." I looked at him. So he didn't know. We walked over, he knocked on the trailer, and he says, "We want to come in. I want you to introduce you to Johnny Russo." And we both laughed. He said, "What are you laughing about?" "I'm going to tell you something you're not going to believe. Nicolas Cage was my ring bearer in The Godfather. He was the little kid in the white shorts when I got married in The Godfather.
And
His
that's a
uncle,
true story. You can't make that up because he's related to Francis Ford Coppola.
his mother is his sister.
Yeah.
Hello. He didn't want to go by Coppola. He didn't want to cheat his way in. This stuff you can't even make up. You know, it's crazy.
You can't. It's amazing, and just your friendship. When was the last time that you spoke with Marlon Brando? Because you two were close. You
I
your
was with
acting teacher,
Marlon
pretty
almost
much.
to the end. Well, you know, he got in touch with me. We were neighbors for a while on Mulholland Drive. And then I just before, like we mentioned in my club, I killed Lorenzo. Oh, we didn't talk about that, but I killed Lorenzo Morales in my club in Vegas. I
Hmm.
shot him between the eyes in front of 150 people, only to find out he was the underboss to Pablo Escobar. I called Noriega to set it up. I wanted to go see Pablo. He said, "You want to go see Pablo?" I said, "Yeah, I got to straighten this out. That wasn't my fault. The guy got stupid in my club." And I became friends with Pablo Escobar. People were saying, "How do you do these things?" Brando, he called me up and he said to me, "You got to help me." I said, "What up? What's the matter?" He's my son just shot my daughter's boyfriend. I said, "What are you talking about?" He's just shot and killed him, I think. I said, "Who'd you call?" He said, "Nobody." I said, "Don't call anybody. Don't call the cops. Don't do nothing. I'm going to have somebody call you." So now I call Shapiro up. And I said, "Robert, what are you calling me so late at my house?" I said, "Shut up. Listen to what I'm telling you. Call this number. Tell him to call my office in the morning." I said, "Robert, Marlon Brando needs you now." He's what? And he calls him. So now I get up in the morning, in the morning I go to the bathroom. And I turn the TV on 7 o'clock just to see what's going on in the news. I see Robert Shapiro, Marlon Brando turning Brendan into the county.
Insane. There's just the amount of history that you've been a part of, and even with the Pablo Escobar situation, because that was one of the times that you were held captive. Out of three, you've been held captive three times. You were kidnapped three times. What were the other two?
Well, some of them I can't talk to.
Oh, okay. Is this, are you waiting for a certain time for your book, maybe? A book, because I know you have a book deal.
Oh, yeah. But no, I got kidnapped by Saddam Hussein.
Okay. Yeah, I know you know him. I know that he was a fan of The Godfather. I know you knew him.
And then we became friends. No, but it was a big deal. I was controlling a lot of money at the time, and he bought a nuclear submarine from people, not America. And we went through the whole inspection of the submarine. He okayed it, and I transferred the money. Then a day or two later, he calls me. He says, "There's no nuclear, torpedoes on there." I said, "You didn't buy them with torpedoes." I said, "You wanted the nuclear submarine. You bought it." He said, "How do I get the bombs?" I said, "Not from me."
What was your the reaction to, because I know you've heard it from through the grapevine from other people, but did you run into John Gotti? What was his reaction when he knew that you came back after the Escobar situation? Because he thought you were done for.
Well, he bought me the ticket. He thought I'd
Hmm.
never. No, John Gotti, what John Gotti did to New York, Tony Spilotro did to Chicago. They destroyed it. Once he saw The Godfather, he stopped wearing warm-up suits. He bought the 5-inch collar shirts and all that stuff. He became a totally different guy. But he destroyed the whole thing. I mean, whatever. And I still am a true believer. I think when the mob is running your city, it's better off.
Oh, I would say so. It's better than when Giuliani was running it.
Oh, Giuliani, we wanted to kill him. He, I'm surprised that he lived that long and still living.
It's insane. It's wild. The stories that you hear about him, and it's him, another one arresting a lot of people with the mob and taking the mob down, things like that. It's
Early
definitely.
on, that was his claim to fame, man.
Hmm.
I mean, he was, doing what he thought was right. But you heard a lot of people I knew.
Hmm.
But whatever. But did you start reading the book at all? Mafia?
I haven't read the Mafia Secrets. I was too busy reading the Hollywood Godfather. I finished that up, even just loving the stories about you managing Dionne Warwick, and she wanted a certain color piano keys on stage, and you told her to get the F on stage.
She's so crazy. No, but I mean, again, even in show business world, I got 16 Grammys and an Oscar for music.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know that, but we own Lady in Red. Stevie Wonder and I was producer on that. I got an Oscar for Streisand was sitting in front of me, and I know her all her life. I knew Barbara from Brooklyn when she was giving head to everybody in the streets. But and I'm there, and they named me, and I win the Oscar. She was so pissed. But Stevie Wonder wasn't me, It was his company. I was just a co-producer. But anyway, no, it's crazy to think about all the different hats I've worn and had fun and made tremendous amounts of money with it.
Hmm.
It's crazy.
It is. Did you know the real Lefty from the movie? Of course, Donnie Brasco. You knew everybody, but did you
Lefty Rosenthal?
Lefty Ruggiero?
Oh, Lefty Ruggiero. No, I didn't know. I was so above because of the where I was early on.
Hmm.
Costello, once I got with the Costello, I would never talk to street guys at all. He
Hmm.
did it. He's going to destroy you. And he told them to stay away from him.
Mm.
Stay away from me. And I used to see him in the Cobra all the time. I was in the Cobra every night. He owned it. I was going to the Copacabana when I was 16.
Early on, you were that guy, the kid. Everyone referred to you as the kid.
Most people didn't know my name until The Godfather came out.
Wow.
Everybody knew me as the kid. Nobody knew Gianni Russo. And in 1972, they said, this guy, Johnny Russo, they didn't tell me, they said, you didn't tell me you were an actor. I said, I wasn't.
I think the most important acting advice that Marlon Brando gave to you is the reacting.
Oh my God. He was there every day, man. Even the scene when at the end with Pacino was going to give me the ticket and all that.
Mhm.
So he came to my trailer and he wasn't working the next day. So he wanted to go over that scene with me. And he gave me all those pointers. He's when he hands you the airline ticket, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. He said, well, you don't know whether you're going to live or die. You know you're going to die. You read the script, but you can't telegraph that to the audience. You got to look at that ticket like it's a security blanket. Is there really a ticket? Am I getting out of here? That was all him, man. This guy is such a genius. And I watched him when he set up his office. I was on the set because that was connected to my wedding. And I was a good friend with him by that time. He really wasn't friends with me. He liked my Chinese chick chauffeur. In fact, when the movie was over, she left, went to Tahiti with him. I never saw her again. But the guy, when he was setting up his office, he was telling the set director, put a fish tank here, please. And this here, that here. And there was a cat following him around on the set. The cat was there. We didn't bring him. And then he started feeding the cat. And then he used to put all the treats in his pocket, and the cat would follow him around everywhere. And I said, what do you do with this cat? He said, what I'm going to do, and I want you to watch this scene. While I'm talking about killing people, I'm going to be feeding my fish and petting my cat. I mean, the things he thinks of. And, that's why he's a genius.
Yeah, oh, he definitely is, and you are as well, and especially in business and everything that you've been able to achieve. I wanted to touch on this. Joel Ortiz and the Heatmakers, Arsonist, they wrapped your life story.
I know. Do you believe that? It could have been a hit. We still may use it. I may use it in you really did your homework. No, well, I got friendly with those guys, and they wanted to rap my story, and I can't believe it. And they did, fortunately. But I
Mm.
got a lot of interesting things coming up that people are going to say, "What the hell did he do this? How did he do this?"
Yeah, I was surprised because I know you're big into the whole singing space with the Sinatra type of singing, and,
Right.
you've done, Sinatra taught you how to sing, and you were out there performing for a lot of clubs. You even had an album at one point.
Reflections,
Reflection, that's what it was. Reflection was.
Sinatra's orchestra. He
Hmm.
paid for the whole session. No, but like right, even I'm on tour now. I leave on the 20th of December, and I come back on January 6th. I'm at the Lark in Dublin. It's sold out. They're asking me to do another date. It's a 400 seat theater. I didn't even know people knew me there. But I go up there and I do my show. I chronologically take you through my life. It's an 80-minute show with film clips and everything. People go crazy.
Wow.
No, it's been great.
Mhm. What's the biggest stage that you've been on to perform?
The biggest that's interesting. I was in Baku, Azerbaijan. I didn't even know where I was going. If you any of your audience, Baku, look it up. And I went. I had 25,000 people. 25,000 people. I couldn't believe it.
That's a
I didn't
lot.
know 25,000 people knew my name. And we're in the Caspian Sea. It's the playground for, Abu Dhabi and all that. And you won't believe who bought 150 tickets.
Who did?
Take the wildest guess you could think of.
I don't know. It could be anybody. You've
Putin.
been
Putin showed up.
who, and you zoomed with him before too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We drank. Wow, you really did your homework. Yeah. We did vodka with him. He just sent me a big package. Now he's drinking Beluga Gold. He was drinking Beluga Black from over there, his vodka. And now they're drinking gold. It's $600 a bottle. He sent me some for whatever. I just,
I'm friends with Putin. Have you sent him any of the Corleone goods?
oh my God, yeah, he
Hmm.
gets it all the time. Yeah. No, it's easy sending him whatever he wants, he gets. See, I met him through his girl here because the Russian embassy's right here.
Hmm.
So that's how friendly I got with her. I baptized her son. And that's how I got meeting him on Zoom all the time. And his big movie was The Godfather. He loves The Godfather. So, it's so crazy when you start talking names and people. It's like insane.
It is. It really is. And just the work that you've been a part of. They even say it's proclaimed the greatest movie of all time as The Godfather.
Yeah, yeah. Fortunately,
It's amazing.
it's, again, I have, I had, I didn't even regret having polio because once I reflected on it, I
Mhm.
realized I had to go through that. It made me stronger. I watched thousands of kids die. And I was already religious. I used to go to church with my grandmother every day before I got polio. And then I couldn't be, I was confused because I don't know why is God doing this to me.
Mhm.
And then every few days, another bed was being scrubbed, and the guy went to heaven. And I'm saying, I don't want to go to heaven. What am I doing here?
You want to go? You want to go to the other place to be with your friends.
I didn't want to go anywhere. I wanted to get the hell out of it, and I did.
Well, it took you shoving that self-made steak through
Oh
that
yeah,
guy.
that stick, that broom, man. Those little. Well, she warned me. Dolores Barone warned me about this pedophile, and they didn't. I didn't know what a pedophile was then. But and they shuffled me right out of there because they didn't want the state to know they hired a pedophile to take care of kids.
It's so bad. It's crazy how they didn't do anything about it, and people knew, like the nurse that took care of you. These
Oh,
people knew, and no one did anything.
nope. We were a number for them. I found that out later. They're getting 600 and something dollars a month for each kid they were taking care of, and they were kids like vegetables, and they kept them alive just to keep the money coming in.
Horrible.
No, terrible.
It's yeah, losing all those people like that. That's
No.
tragic. Yeah.
Where are you located in
I'm
Connecticut?
I'm located in Connecticut. Yeah.
I'll be coming up there to do some shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
When?
I got and at the end of January actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm doing a Christmas tree country club or something.
Okay.
Big places. I
Yeah.
want you to come be my guest.
Oh
I
yeah.
want
I would love to come watch you perform.
I want you to see the show. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So you're gonna be out here in Connecticut in January
Yeah,
performing. Yeah.
definitely.
That's
The end of January. I'm up there 2 or 3 weekends. It's all
h-
good.
how long have you stayed in touch with Pacino? Did he ever tell you
I'm
any?
still in touch with Pacino. I
Mhm.
like it. I don't talk to Bobby no more. He's too nuts. He
He's-
got He's so rich anyway. That Nobu deal for him was the biggest thing he ever did.
Mhm.
He just opened a big hotel in Italy, actually, too. They opened the Nobu in Italy. But Bobby, I don't know what's going on with him, but hey, God bless him. He
Ye-
probably thinks I'm nuts. So anyway,
Oh, oh, yeah. Did Pacino ever tell you any stories of with him being on Scarface? Because there were threats, crazy things that
oh
happened on
no,
set there.
not Pacino. He doesn't really talk shop.
Hmm.
Just a regular guy. He's very quiet,
Mm.
introvert, basically. But I just like the guy. He thinks I'm an enigma. He don't. He thinks, what planet did you come from?
Michael Corleone. It's insane, and you're in your own way a real Corleone.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I own a lot in Corleone too. They
Hmm.
know that now. Well, Pacino knew that a while ago. See, what people don't know also, and maybe your audience don't, but if you go right now onto Hollywood, go to Corleone Fine Italian Foods website. I own that IP for
Hmm.
14 years. I'm in 83 countries selling Genco olive oil, Corleone pasta. It's so even the vodka. My vodka is insane. It ships all over the world. I don't even bring it to America no more. The tariffs are too high. I sell it over there. What do I care?
They got to do it, especially with the tariffs going up.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're through the roof. They really are. What would you say, because you've been in so many films other than got 48 films altogether. What would you
Yeah.
say is your favorite role besides Carlo Rizzi?
Oh, that's a good question. I played Albert Anastasia's brother, Tony Anastasia, was my godfather. So when I did with Tony Curtis, he played Louis Lepke, and I played Albert Anastasia. I loved that movie. I like Family Man too.
Hmm.
I like that movie. There's some good. I did some interesting work. Well, Any Given Sunday was a fabulous.
Oh yeah.
You know, we had more fun in Cameron Diaz and the funniest story I could say it. Anne Margaret, when I called her to be, she was Diaz's mother. So when I called, Roger said, Johnny, she can't do anything. She has a problem. I said, I know what her problem is. I said, did you read the script? He said, no. I said, read the script. He called me back. He said, you are the craziest son of a bitch I know. Of course, I wrote her as an alcoholic. She was slurring her words, and that's what she was. I just wanted a name in there.
Insane. And especially with you knowing Sinatra and being close with him, and he cried when you told him about the transistor radio story.
Oh,
And
oh yeah. No, I mean, when I got called recently, in fact, I just added this to the show. When I got called to the house, Dorothy called me. She said, you better go see the old man. He wants you to come right away. So I go there, and I've never seen him. I've seen him in every form of life. He comes out, white silk pajamas, not shaven, no toupee on. He's totally full white head of hair, maybe weighs 120 pounds. And he says, Pally, you got to do me a favor. I said, whatever you want me to do. He said, I don't know how much longer I have. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I don't feel good. I wanted to see you. You got to make me a promise. I said, what is it? I'll do anything for you. He's, when I die, I want you to dedicate a song to Ava Gardner and myself because I travel the world. Why wouldn't I go? Let's go to Spain. You want to find her? We go. Why? I'm with Sinatra. We're going to find Ava Gardner. I'll come. I was in Monaco every year. We went to the Monaco to Red Cross Ball. I knew Grace Kelly before she was Grace. I mean, she was Grace Kelly, but before she became the princess, she was at the Barbers on right around the corner, 62nd Street here. I knew her when she was nobody. So I mean, what that was all about. So he says to me, "You know what she meant to me?" I say, yeah. He said, when I die, you got to sing this song." And I end the show that I'm doing now with this song, with the image of him in the pajamas, 4 days before he died,
wow.
choking up, and him and Ava. And the song he wanted me to sing was "All the Way." And he taught me that song, drummed it into my head. When I sing it now at the end of the show, the whole audience is crying. I mean, you're going to see it. You'll see it at the end of January. I want you to see,
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
please.
Yeah.
Please.
And the new book, Mafia Secrets, it's really been Secrets of the Mafia. It's been going viral, like you said. And I know there's an article already going out there with the New York Post or New York Times, just going crazy with talking about the mafia being involved with the death of Pope John Paul.
Oh, I know. Well, the thing also, what's gone really good for me, the Daily Mail is doing a feature on it.
Hmm.
I didn't realize they hit 1,400,000 people a day. A billion. My editors at Kensington, I just went with them. They can't believe this. We've never had anybody like you just sell books. You just sell 50,000 books like for no reason.
It's a New York Times bestseller. It's Hollywood Godfather is a New York Times bestseller. The
Oh, I
reviews
know.
are through the roof.
I know. No, I did 100,000 copies of it. Nicholas Ledgy. Nick Pileggi called me up, and he gave me a forward on the book, on both books actually, and he called me up and he said to me, "How did you do this?" I said, "Do what?" He says, "You realize you are probably the only author that sold 100,000 copies of a book." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I sell 40, 50,000. We think that's great. You surpassed 100,000 copies."
It's a major achievement, and I'm sure they're going to keep roping you in the book. Is there? Do you have so much more material that you haven't even
My
released?
God, forget about it. My new book I'm already working on called Celebrities and Gangsters. Wait till you hear this one. This is,
Oh,
no, I'm having fun. God willing, I'm predicted to live right now till I'm 115. I had gray
let's
hair. I
hope.
don't have gray hair anymore. I look at my. I don't look like an 83-year-old man.
No, you don't.
It's crazy. But I'm doing stem cells. They're taking my stems from my right side of my body, from
Mhm.
my good side to my left side. And I think they reversed my aging.
Do you still have side effects from when you had
I
polio when you were younger?
No, I used to get cramps and that. I know. But you know what it is? I really watch my diet. I don't eat salt. As I'm getting older, I'm really watching because I don't want to go nowhere.
Mhm.
I'm having too much fun. Where am I going to go?
Do you think it stemmed from because you were in your bedroom was a closet in your house and laying on your left side? Do you think that's what started was a triggering factor?
I don't know what it was, but I know that inhaling kerosene every night wasn't good.
No, no.
No, but I don't know. I mean, I can't. There's nothing rational to say how I have achieved or done anything. I have no diplomas. I don't know how to read. Thank God for spell check. My kids think I went to school now. It's just fun.
Well, I was going to say this too because I went to I got my start at St. John's. Have you been up to St. John's? That's like people love it. St. John's University
No,
in New
love it.
York. I figured you might have visited there or something. Yeah, because I know it's.
No, I don't. I don't. I'm not, the last thing I would go is visit a school. How am I going to do this?
Hey, give a speech. I know the people will give.
Realize how dumb I am.
You can give speeches. You could give speeches.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. So, Carlo Rizzi, you're going to be running. You got that legendary role there. You're going to be running in the Sylvester Stallone anytime soon again, you think? What do you think? I know you ran into him, told him that you married,
I
you had her first.
Adrian, he didn't get it. He's got a big hit, the Tulsa Kings. He's doing well with that.
Big.
I wish he would get a better toupee. I mean, it gets any lower, it's going to be his eyebrows. I understand people like that.
Uh, well, Johnny, I want you to leave the audience with this. If there's anything else you want to let your fans know, anything else that we didn't cover here today.
No, thank you, first of all, for having me on
Mhm.
and your audience for listening. Go out and buy the book, read it, and enjoy it. And we'll just keep on going, man. God bless. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. God bless you and your family. And thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. And Johnny, I was going to ask you this too, and then this will be off the record. I won't put this in the recording of the show. I think your life story needs a Netflix special. Have you thought about getting your life story on the Netflix?
No, I don't want to do that. I'm working on a feature film
Working on a feature film.
with George Gallo directing.
Okay.
Did Midnight Run. I don't want to go. And they're trying to disqualify Netflix for the Oscars. Did you
Wow.
know that?
No, I didn't, because The Irishman was on there. That was a
I
big.
know. See, but what they're doing is the Netflix, they want to disqualify Netflix as a release film because what they're doing is they're basically syndicating it on their own network. So they want it to be out of the Oscar organization. That may happen, but I mean, I don't even care about awards. I go to the bank.
That's all that matters at the end
You
of
know,
the
I
day.
don't go to a trophy shelf.
You got a lot of those already. From the Oscars and the Grammys. You got a lot of those already. Any new music material, like an album? Have you thought about getting a new album out there?
I'm working on a couple of things, but again, all of that I'm going to make it all be part of the soundtrack of the movie, and
Okay.
that way, and so you're going to see it chronologically and geographically coming along with it, and no, we're working on it all. Believe me.
Yeah, I believe you. You're always working.
Now I want to write. I want to win an Oscar for writing, acting. Who knows? We got some more things to do yet.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yes, I can. I'll prove that, man.
Thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate all that you've done and all that you continue to do. It really is a blessing to see everything that you've achieved and continue to achieve. And I look forward to the show that's in
Oh,
Connecticut.
see, I promise you, I'll look for you in January. You'll be there.
I appreciate that. I'll be there. I'm more than happy to come out and support and see you perform.
I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Johnny. Enjoy the rest of your night.
I
Take care. Happy holidays.
you too.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye bye.